So in this class we are going to discuss about step functions, and there are different types of step functions, and among those I mentioned here the greatest integral value of x, fractional value of x, least integral value of x, and the nearest integral value of x, and these are known as usually step functions. Why we are calling all these as step functions? Why? Because if you sketch the graph of these four, the graph just like steps, okay? See, usually you know the steps, right? So just like the steps of the building or steps of something, all these graphs looks like. And why we call all these functions as step functions, okay? And in some other class, I am going to give you the graphs also. There you will clearly observe the steps pattern of these graphs, okay? And now just we are discussing these four related to the algebra, okay? All these functions are known as step functions just because the graphs of these functions just like steps, okay? And I will give you those graphs in some other class, okay? And now related to these things, among all these things, most of the time we use this greatest integral value of x, okay? Or we may call greatest integer function, okay? And greatest integer function, and that's why some books and some people may write it like g of x, okay? Right. So we need to learn all the four, but in many cases we just utilize this greatest integral value of x, and among all these things we need to pay more attention on the greatest integral value of x, and then we need to pay attention on the fractional value of x, and very rarely we will use this least integral value of x and then nearest integral value of x. Just have a look, one by one I will handle now, okay? The first one, 1a, related to the step function, which is the greatest integer function or greatest integral value of x. So where x, as I mentioned you, x is any real number. So if when x is a real number, then related to that real number we will define all these four. At first we are discussing about the greatest integer of x, and which is denoted by step x. We will use this square brackets and that one real number x, okay? Right, we call it as step x or greatest integral value of x, okay? Right, so which is denoted by step x, and sometimes or some people may denote it like this also, okay? But we will use only this one, okay? This square brackets with x, we will use this, and sometimes rarely we will use that one also, okay? And then think about it, this is the denotation. Then whereas coming to the definition, which is defined by, just observe the definition, which is defined by the greatest integer among all integers which are less than or equals to x. Which are less than or equals to x. Okay, that's the basic definition of the greatest integer function or the greatest integral value. We need to identify the greatest integer among all the integers which are less than or equals to x. You need to locate all the integers which are less than or equals to x, and among all those integers you need to identify the greatest integer, and that is known as the greatest integer of x. For suppose if I give you a number like this, okay, for something like greatest integral step x of greatest integral value of some 3.7, if I take, what you say about this step of 3.7 or greatest integral value of 3.7? You just analyze it. As I mentioned you, first of all we need to locate all the integers which are less than or equals to this 3.7. So what are all the integers which are less than or equals to this 3.7? Just have a look, all the integers in the sense starting from minus infinity. So minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and we don't take this 4. Why? Because 4 is not less than this 3.4. As per the definition, you just pay your attention. First of all, you need to locate all the integers which are less than or equals to x, okay? And among all the integers, you need to identify the greatest number, and that greatest number here it is 3. So step of 3.7 is equals to 3. That is the basic definition. And how we use and how we can locate the value easily. All these things I will discuss in the next point. But why we are calling it as greatest integral value? Because it is the greatest integer among all the integers which are less than or equals to x. Okay. For suppose if you take another number, the same logic, right? For suppose if you are trying to locate step of -4, since you are thinking to identify the step of -4, you need to locate all the integers which are less than this -4 as well as equals to of that -4 also. So starting from minus infinity, we will have some integers like -5, -4, and then there ends the list. Because -4, -3 after that -3 is more than this -4. But what we need? We need all the integers which are less than or equals to -4, and these are all such integers. Among all those integers, this -4 is the greatest, and your answer is -4. So at the end, step of 3.7 is 3 and step of -4 is -4. Okay, just have a look. Just pay your attention on the definition. See, again I am repeating you, step x, okay, is the greatest integer among all the integers which are less than or equals to x. Once again look there. Why we are calling it as greatest integer? Your answer is because we are identifying the greatest integer among all the integers which are less than or equals to x. And why we are calling it as a step function? Because its graph just looks like steps, and that's why we call it as step function. And another name for this is, some people may call it as floor of x. Repeating, I am floor of x. Why we are calling it as floor of x? Why? Because see, you just imagine, just identify all these integers on the number line. I will give you the number line representation. Just I am erasing this definition for the space. Okay, right. So for suppose if you are trying to identify step of 3.7, okay, see if you look at the number line, okay, all the integers I have, somewhere I have -1, somewhere I have 0, 1, 2, 3, okay, and then 4, all these things. So where I have 3.7, so that 3.7 is somewhere in between 3 and 4 here. And for the 3.7, if you take, see, all these integers are less than or equals to this 3.7, and among all those integers this 3 is the greatest, and the 3 is your answer. And that 3 just looks like the floor of this number, and that's why we call it as floor of x. Whereas if you represent this 4, we call this 4 as ceiling of x, and that is the least integral value of x. At that time I will mention you. Okay, here this 3 is also mentioned, just it's like floor, and that 4 just looks like ceiling, and that's why for this number 3.7, this 3 is also mentioned as floor of x. Is it right? So this is the number line representation. Whereas if you wish to locate step of -4, again the same pattern, take that number line representation, and on that number line you just locate all the integers. So somewhere I have something like -6, -5, -4, -3, -2, all the integers, and I need to find step of -4. You need to identify all the integers which are less than or equals to -4. So I need to identify these are the integers which are less than or equals to -4. And now among all those integers, this -4 is the greatest, and your answer is -4. And for that -4, the floor itself -4 and the ceiling itself -4. Okay, here since we are also calling this greatest integer function as the floor of x, see here only we represent the bracket, the ending here itself. Okay, here I have the open brackets, right? At ceiling I will have closed there. Okay, right. Once again I am repeating you, all these are the step functions. Among those, the first one is the greatest integral value of x, or the greatest integer function, and which is denoted by step x, or you may write in this manner also. But in most of the cases I go with this step x, that's it. Okay, and what is its definition? Its definition is the greatest integer which is less than, or which is, see, the greatest integer which is greatest among all the integers which are less than or equals to x. I have a real number I need to identify all the integers which are less than or equals to the real number, and among those you need to identify the greatest, and that is the greatest integer function. On the number line, this is the way to identify that greatest integer. Okay, and for the given number some 3.7, this 3 is lesser, so that's why this 3 is also called as the floor of that number, and so also we call it as floor of x, and we represent that floor of x by this symbol. Is it clear? So this is something about the greatest integral value of x. Okay, just have a look, and then I will discuss the fractional value of x. Okay. Okay. Next thing is the fractional value of x. This fractional value of x is denoted by, first of all we need the denotation, and then we need to learn the definition. The fractional value of is denoted by this curly braces of x, where x is a real number, and which is defined as its fractional value. Okay, see, denoted by the fractional value of x, and for suppose if x is a real number, and you need to separate that x as some integral part plus fractional part. Okay, and this integral part must be an integer, whereas this fractional part must be in between 0 and 1. I am repeating, this f must be in between 0 and 1. That f must be positive, and that f may be 0, that f cannot be 1, that f value in between 0 and 1. So in such case, this f is mentioned as the fractional value. In this case, this f is mentioned as the fractional value. Okay, so if you have any integer, if you have any real number, you need to express that real number as some integral part plus fractional part, and that fractional part is your answer. For suppose I am giving you some examples. If you have some 3.7, this is equals to, I will write this 3.7 as 3 plus 0.7. Just have a look. This 3 is the integer, this 0.7 is what? That 0.7 is a number which is in between 0 and 1, and that's why its fractional part value is 0.7. Okay, and whereas for suppose if I have an example like this 7.892, what you say its fractional value? This 7.892 can be expressed as 7 plus 0.892, and that's why its fractional value is 0.892. Usually the decimal part is the fractional value for the positive integers. What you say about the fractional value of 13? See, for 13 we just express it like 13 plus 0. Okay, so its fractional value is directly 0. And whereas for the integers like 13, the fractional value is 0, nothing more than that. Why? Because this 13 can be expressed like 13 plus 0. 13 itself is the integer, and that 0 will become the fractional part. And for suppose if I have a negative integer like minus 4.3, what you say about its fractional value? This minus 4.3 can be expressed like this. Fractional value of minus 4 minus 0.3. See, but minus 4.3 is simply minus 4 minus 0.3, but this minus 4 minus 0.3 is not in the standard format. What is the standard format? Standard format is this x is equals to I plus f, where this I is the integer, where f is the fractional part. Here I minus 4 is the integer, but here we need to use plus sign, but here it is minus sign, right? And that's why this is not the standard form. And so I will express this minus 4.3 as fractional part of minus 5 plus 0.7. Just think about it. See, minus 5 plus 0.7. Now it is satisfying the standard representation. This minus 5 is the integer, 0.7 is the fractional number, and the 0.7 is in between 0 and 1. So the fractional value of minus 5 plus 0.7 is simply 0.7. So at the end, the fractional value of minus 4.3 is not directly 0.3, it is 0.7. So while calculating the fractional values for the negative numbers, somewhat you need to pay your attention. You need to express that negative number as some integral part plus, I am repeating, plus fractional part. And that fractional part must be in between 0 and 1. Then in that case you say the fractional value as 0.7. So this is something about the fractional values. Okay. And I will again repeat all these things in the next point. Just have a look. Now the third one, C, which is the least integral value of x, and we also call it as ceiling of x, and which is denoted by this symbol, this notation. and it is defined by, you just observe it, we need to identify the least integer among all the integers which are greater than or equals to x. Whereas for the greatest integer function, we need to identify the greatest integer among all the integers which are less than or equals to x. But here, the least integer which are greater than or equals to x. For suppose if I have the finding ceiling of some 3.7, just identify it. Least integral value or the ceiling of 3.7. So which is nothing but you need to identify all the integers which are greater than or equals to that number. See, for this 3.4, the next integer 4 which is clearly greater than 3.7, and 4, 5, 6 up to infinity. All these numbers are the greatest integers for the 3.7, okay? And among all those integers, you need to identify the least one, and that least one is 4. So its greatest, least integral value of x is 4. And whereas in the same case, for suppose if we are trying to find the ceiling of -4, then in this case again you need to identify all the integers which are greater than or equals to -4. Since or equals to I mentioned, so -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2 and so on. Just look there, all these integers are greater than or equals to -4, and among all those integers this -4 is the least. So this is mentioned as the least integral value or the ceiling of x. Is it clear? So if you represent if you represent the least integral value of 3.7 on the number line, this least integral value of 3.7 which is 4 is the right side of the 3.7. It just looks like this ceiling. Okay, just have a look the definition. I will erase it for the representation on the number line. Okay, right. So just have a look. If you identify the number line, and on that number line we have many integers, okay, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and everything. Somewhere in between 3 and 4 I have this 3.7. Okay, and as I mentioned you, all these integers are less than or equals to 3.7, and starting from 4 all these integers are greater than or equals to 3.7. Among those, this is the least, and this is called the least integral value, or we call it as ceiling of 3.7, and this is the greatest integral value, or we call it as floor of 3.7. So as I mentioned you, if you have a real number on the number line, that number is just in between two integers like 3 and 4. Among those two integers, which is left side of the given number is called as the floor, and which is the right side of the given number is called as the ceiling. Whereas if our number x itself is the integer, just like -4, okay, if our number is itself just like integer which is -4, then for those integers the number itself is the floor, the number itself is the ceiling, so the step value itself is -4. Is it clear? Just have a look related to the least integral value of x. As I mentioned you, just as a concept we need to know all these things, but while solving the problems, and we need to analyze much and more just related to this greatest integral value and the fractional value. And the next point I will start all the discussion. Okay, now you just try to know about that least integral value and the major difference or the basic difference between this ceiling of x and that floor of x. Okay, and next I need to give you the idea related to the nearest integral value of x. Just have a look. On the next one, d, which is the nearest integral value of x, and this nearest integral value of x is just denoted by this usual parenthesis with x. Okay, just observe the definitions. This is floor x or greatest integer of x, and this notation is the fractional value of x, whereas this notation is the ceiling of x, and this notation represents what? Nearest integral value of x. See, nearest integral value of x is nothing but we need to identify the integer which is nearest to the x. That's it. Okay, don't go for the complete analysis related to that, just try to analyze it. Okay, what it is, we need to identify the nearest integer for the given number x. Whereas for suppose if I wish to calculate nearest integral value of 3.7, so what is the nearest integral value of 3.7? Whether it is 3 or 4. See, for sure it is 4, right? So just you think about that in number line. So somewhere you have 3 here, somewhere you have 4 here, this 3.7 is somewhat nearer to 4, so the nearest integral value of 3.7 is 4. Whereas if anybody asks you to identify the nearest integral value of some 3.4, what you say? 3.4 is a number which is nearest to 3, and that's why we call the nearest integral value of 3.4 is 3. For suppose, what to say about the nearest integral value of 3? For integers, the number itself is the nearest integral value, right? And whereas, what to say about the nearest integral value of 3.5? So actually the 3.5 is equidistant from the integers 3 and 4. Then in such case, usually we consider the greatest integral value. That means the number which is less than or equals to x as its nearest integer. Actually both are at the same distance, but we usually treat that 3 as its value. Okay, so just have a look. Nearest integral value of x is simply nothing but you need to locate the nearest integer for the given number x. That's the basic idea. Okay, so to identify the nearest integer, just usually the number line representation as well as the usual calculations are somewhat helpful. For suppose if you have minus 5.8, what is the nearest integer for this minus 5.8? So to identify the nearest integer for this 5.8, you just think about the number line. See, where is that minus 5.8? So just have a look. Yeah, somewhere this is the number line, right? So this is minus 5, this is minus 6, and this is minus 4. So minus 5.8. So you just run from the run to the left side. Minus 5.8 is somewhere here. So its nearest integral value is what? Minus 6 is the nearest integral value. Is it clear? Like that, we need to locate the nearest integers for the given number x, and which is generally denoted by this symbol, and this is the nearest integral function. At the end, for a real number x, okay, there are many possibilities to identify the integers. Nearest integer, or the floor of x, or the ceiling of x, which means the greatest integral value or the least integral value. If you try to sketch the graphs of all the functions, all these things, the graph just looks like steps, okay, and that's why we call all these together as step functions. And as I mentioned you, among all these things, you need to pay much attention on the greatest integer value as well as the fractional value. There ends the task. Just have a look. For suppose if you take a number root 3, okay, what you say about step of root 3? Root 3. What you say about the fractional part of that root 3? Okay, and what you say about the ceiling of this root 3? And what you say about the nearest integral value of root 3? Just think about it. So root 3 is a number which is in between where? Which is in between 1 and 2. Is it right? Root 3 is approximately 1.732. We know it. Okay, if you know that approximate value, then it is easy to say, or otherwise we can't find. Root 3 is a number which is in between 1 and 2, and that is sure. So since it is a number which is in between 1 and 2, this step of root 3 is 1, whereas this ceiling of root 3 is 2. Okay, and if you know the value approximately like 1.732, that 1.732 which is very near to 2, right? And that's why the nearest integral value is again 2 here. Whereas coming to the fractional value, the 1.732 is an approximate value for root 3. So its fractional value is also approximately 0.732. So take any real number as you wish, and then you just try to identify its values. Whereas if you think about pi, what is pi? Pi is approximately 3.14, right? What you say about the fractional value of pi, what you say about the step of pi, what you say about the nearest integral value of pi, and all these things. See, the pi is 3.14, so it is in between 3 and 4, so its step value is 3. And what you say about fractional value? Fractional value is approximately 0.14, it's not an exact, okay? And what you say about the nearest integral value? 3.14, 3.1, it's very near to 3, so the nearest integral value is again here 3. And if you wish to write the ceiling for that pi, the ceiling of x is just simply nothing but what? 4. Why? Because which is in between what? 3.3 and 4. Okay, so like this, there is a chance to write step x, ceiling x, floor x, fractional value of x, and nearest integral value of x for every real number. So okay, this root 3 is a real number, this pi is a real number. You just think about something like log 2 base 10. which is a real number. You have a chance to write all these 4 values for log 2 base 10 again. Okay, or you may take a decimal value, any value as you wish. If it is real, then there is a chance to write all these 4 representations like step x, floor x, ceiling x, and the nearest integral value of x. Okay, that's for today's class. Just have a look.